Good evening. I'm gonna call the regular board meeting for the town of Forestville to order. Today is Monday, January 20th, 2025. It is 6:37 PM. Call to order.
Kevin Gillett,
Here,
Larry Huber.
Here.
Tina Schmidt. Here. Jason Clahett.
Here.
Lisa Clahett is here. We have Lauren Eager. And then we have Andrew.
right. You got everybody, Teresa?
Okay. ready?
Okay. We'll pledge allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Verification of public notice.
The meeting was posted on our town's website, at our town hall, and in the clerk's office.
All right, thank you. Agenda presentation. Has the members had an opportunity to look at their current agenda, and is there any corrections or changes that need to be noted?
I make a motion that we adopt the agenda as presented. Looks good to me. I second it.
I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented from Larry and a second from Jason. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Next item. Approved meeting minutes from December 16th, 2024 meeting. I think we've all had received an email and a copy of them. I had looked them over before.
Cleaned up copy of them?
Yep. Well, that's why we always send the first one.
Yeah, I know.
I thought that was called changes or additions.
Any changes are different.
Right, we're gonna add or fix or whatever before we get here.
I think it's fixed. So I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the December 16th meeting. I second that motion.
All right, I have a motion on the table by Larry to accept the meeting minutes as presented and a second by Jason. All in favor?
Chairman, for the minutes,
Yes, sir.
is it supposed to be that you went into closed session? Is that supposed to be on the-
It's in there.
Is it?
Mhm.
Do you have a updated one? There was,
No, that's it.
Look on the second side.
Okay. Figure word one.
I see it in there too.
There it is. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking for a separate line.
Oh.
It's under the broadband update.
okay, so we're all good?
Yep.
All right, then let's move on with the approval of that. So again, I had a motion by Larry to accept them as presented and a second by Jason. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Item number 5, treasurer's financial report.
That's you, Dina.
Yeah, sorry, I'm
Are you with us?
not really, but I'll
Okay,
be okay.
okay. Just checking.
Town checking, we have $2,530.31. Money market, we have $443,625.83. Broadband account, we have $15,650. The CD for the fire department escrow was $138,602.47. The cemetery account, we have $14,333.65. And the LGIP general, we have $225,572.31. And we did receive a check for the park improvements of $500.
Which I'll go over as we
Yeah.
Okay.
go on to that motion.
No delinquency? Okay.
No, not yet. We haven't gotten the second half of our taxes yet.
Right.
Yeah, no, I understand.
What is that thing in that big box? That's a switch of some sort. What is
That is
Dr. Keith.
heat.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to accept the treasury report as presented.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion by Jason to accept the treasurer's report as presented and a second by Larry. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Item number 6, public comment. Do we have anybody online?
I'll let you know real quick. We are the only ones there.
All right, is there anybody else in the room that has anything for public comment that they would like to go through? All right, hearing none, that item is closed. Item number 7, Stony Creek Road name.
Huh.
All right, so this was,
Special.
I'll just give you the short of this. Where is this for you, Larry?
I got one.
You got a whole pack.
Well,
That's all the correspondence with my argument. So I don't have an argument with making the road a name. That's not an issue.
no,
But when you read what 6 is, you know, their item number 6. Is it's up to 4 lots is the max that you can have on a driveway, calling it a road, okay?
right?
Well, there's multiple lots on there. So my concern is first, it's just a driveway right now. It doesn't even meet any of these requirements. They should meet the requirements. Well, we don't really have anything to say about it. We don't deal with our zoning. So we'll make the long of that story down to short. You either okay the name or you don't okay the name. And then item number 2 is, they're gonna have to put up some signs. I'm gonna say we purchased the signs, which they are gonna pay for, which is gonna be a road sign. A private sign right underneath it, and now that it's a road, you'll also have to have a stop sign. That's just how I just can see it.
Do
as
we
far
have
as
to
that
plow
goes.
it?
Nope, it's a private road.
It's a private road. It's not a public road thoroughfare, but it's a
Okay.
named road.
Oh.
That's like Glacier Hill.
Correct, but Glacier Hill was a goat path.
I understand that.
With
This is a
This,
road,
yes, but it has multiple lots on there, 6
Correct.
lots that are
Correct.
actually lotted off. And
right,
they can actually build on these 6 lots, okay?
right.
Which is great for the village and the town and whatever else. I'm not arguing that
Yep.
one bit. But if you wanna make it a road, it should be a road according to what the road is supposed to be.
What about the farm field at the end of that road? Let's suppose a farmer wants to get to his field, could he ever get landlocked? Or could that road then go all the way to the end? when it comes-
That land don't go beyond that piece.
That piece is only, this
Yeah.
is,
Right.
this is,
Yeah.
I'm talking the field back there.
you're talking
Yep.
here?
Could that farmer then be able to use that road to get to his farm or his land?
Well, you
someday?
can't do that because based off of how the rule and ordinance says. If these are the 4 things, he can't go any further with his driveway.
Gotcha,
That's the end of it.
okay.
And that's my whole point is, well, then there should be some paperwork. They didn't send us nothing other than say, you need to put this on your agenda. I'm like, we ain't putting anything on our
Because I
agenda.
drove that down the other day and it goes all the way to the end. and has
Yes,
like a
it does.
turnaround on the back.
Correct.
I was
Right.
Confused as to what.
With a
he's
huge
doing.
hole back here.
Yep.
Yes,
All right.
but that's my whole point. These are technically lots,
Mhm.
Mhm.
okay? So, and if you go beyond 4, it's another whole set of restrictions. So my thing is like, okay. You're gonna go with these 4 and now you're gonna all of a sudden change this. Well, then that makes that null and void, or it should be
Right.
according to your ordinance.
So basically then this is just a overglorified driveway and,
With a name.
Yeah, okay.
A stop sign and posting it as a.
But see,
private
that's
road.
still my hangup, Larry. It's a glorified driveway. But if you're gonna call it a road, then they need to follow this.
True.
You need to fix it to make it to this standard. And then you should prove to the town that it's done to that standard before we say, yeah, let's go ahead and whatever. But if all we can do is,
This then,
we can okay the name. And as far as I'm gonna do, we're gonna send them an email back, that's fine, we can okay the name. But we are opposed to any of this until that road is updated to the standard of this ordinance or
right,
your chapter, whatever you wanna call it, 6, which I have wherever, but
which is a zoning,
it's a zoning issue,
yeah,
correct? So I'm not opposed to what they're doing and I'm all for it, but you gotta make the road the way it should be made, or else you're sitting here later with whatever. And then you're gonna pay for the signs, which I'll be in the email as well, whoever, I don't really care. We wanna purchase the sign. So that it matches all of our signs. I don't want different signs in our township. It's one sign, period.
Well.
So you'll have the road name, and then underneath will be a private, which will be second. And then you're gonna have a stop sign that you'll be paying for.
Therefore, until those criteria have been met, would it be better not to approve this or table it until next month until,
Here's the problem. You don't have any authority.
I know that
None.
because it's their naming, it's their, Zach is given names.
Correct. And it's the zoning department's gonna do whatever they're gonna wanna do, and you don't have anything to say about it. That's the issue that I have.
And you've been in communication with them obviously since.
Yeah. That's where you got all this stuff. this
Yes,
information.
that this was not there.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct. So these are still some of the questions that they're shooting back and forth and whatnot. So that's where I'm saying my email to the county is going to be, the town is fine with accepting that particular road name
as the name,
as the name, correct?
period,
But it needs to meet these requirements
of
Okay.
their rules.
of their rules. Absolutely. That's
I agree
how
with
it's
that.
stated.
I agree with that.
And then item number 2 is they're going to have to pay for the cost of the signage, which we will provide the signage to match ours.
So to meet our standard,
Correct.
I agree with that as well.
So. With all of that, I guess we would need to make a motion on,
Just
okaying the name.
approving the name,
And then I will send the email back on that.
explaining this situation,
Correct.
I would agree with that.
So I need a motion to, that the Stony Creek Road is acceptable to the town, because there is no other Stony Creek in our township that I am aware of,
No,
so.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right, so I have a motion by Jason,
To accept the Stony Creek Road name per the request,
and that the road matches,
but the road has to meet the requirements based on the. This is what, from the Door County
zoning
zoning
department.
committee
Yeah.
or zoning department, yes.
And that they will have to take care of the signage as we require, correct?
Exactly, they'll, the signage and then.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
All right, do I have a second?
I second that.
Okay. Request by Jason to accept the name Stony Creek Road and the signage paid for by the owners. And the road to follow the county's ordinance as presented
Right.
in chapter 6. And a second by Larry. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Okay. Next item. Renewal of existing waste removal contract with Boyne Garbage. So, as we were aware, our contract is coming due. Here's the original one, which you two are aware of, correct? You've seen it and
Yeah.
read it. So what I am looking to do is extend the existing contract with the same terms that are in here. Because we had no issues with any of the terms, and the service has been, honestly, I've never even had a phone call, not one, or a complaint about the service. Therefore, I'd like to extend it for another 5 years from the end date of the existing contract. So what we did is I typed up a letter to Going Garbage to accept those terms or not accept those terms. So you want to see one of these? And we have a representative from Going Garbage, if you guys have any questions.
In other words, it's going to have the same terms and conditions and costs associated as we have had in the past 5 years.
Continuation of the existing contract in essence.
And this is why I want to extend the contract instead of open it back up, or all of a sudden we're opening it up to today's rates instead of what is here now. It is better for us to stay
Down for it.
with the existing than it is to.
It was an excellent service as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, we need to make a motion to that effect. I make a motion that we extend the existing Going Garbage contract. With Going Garbage contract for an additional 5 years with a term ending September 30th of 2030. At the same, now we had in that agenda, we're still gonna have that, just this exhibit A, you're just going to extend that,
Correct.
okay?
So 5 years ago, or almost 5 years ago, we had a starting number. And then we've had some increases along the way due to CPI with a maximum of 4%. Which the previous chairman forced us into, which was actually very advantageous to you guys this past couple of years. So we'll give a shout out to Roy for that. And yes, we'll just continue on.
Okay, so I got a motion from Larry. I'm looking for a second.
I second that motion.
Okay. I got a motion from Larry to accept the proposal to go to Going Garbage if they're willing to do this, to extend the contract for an additional 5 years from the end of this contract. And a second from Jason. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Now letter presented to Going Garbage. Are you? I've given you a copy of this. Are you willing to?
Yes.
Okay,
And I can notarize it, so then we can have it all done.
correct. That's why I wanted to stamp. And then I'll sign it. Actually, you should probably notarize 2 of them, right? We should do 2, one for them and one for us.
See, this is the Gilded Age, you'd have like hot wax and a crust they could put on there.
It's a special stamp.
Special stamp.
Okay,
So I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna.
just
borrow it.
unlock that.
If you don't mind.
Lock it.
Yeah, somehow it unlocked. Had a churn.
Yeah.
Me either.
Oh, that's right, I think it press this guy.
No, this button there.
This is to unlock.
Okay,
Here's
Yeah.
and then Andrew, yeah, I gotta sign that one, Andrew, and then she'll notarize them both.
Oh, here we go. Ta-da. Okay.
It's a public document.
Okay, ready?
I see you guys are at Algoma too now.
Sendable.
We are.
Huh?
Now we can send them.
We should have.
He was
I'm just gonna.
able to
There we go.
reach out and basically tell people to do it also. If
Right.
you want to see it, so. So, yeah,
There you go.
Oh, he'd like a copy?
Yes.
Yep.
It's a public
There
document.
we go.
Yeah, he can have it.
and we were gonna bring that up with later on, the thing correspondence. But that was the-
Okay. I just didn't want that.
So
to
you
slip.
have,
No, but
Okay.
we'll get that out to them immediately.
Yay.
There's a stamp on there once. Do you want it twice?
I think once
think
is
we're
fine.
good. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So I'm gonna do
so
this.
you have any questions, Andrew, or any problems on your end or anything you wanna talk about?
I think that we've had a great relationship with you guys. I appreciate the renewal. That's means that you have confidence in us to continue on. We really appreciate it.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And then we had that one comment or one situation, but I think maybe the people misunderstood. And then they got ahold of you guys and they got it right and they just
Yeah.
took care of it on their end of it and everything is good.
Yeah.
Awful.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you
Perfect.
very much.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for coming.
Very careful,
Yeah.
a lot of deer out there too.
Item number 9,
Yep, so good night.
have a good night. Fire Department report and update.
Leave it open, please. Okay, thank you, Andrew. It's an open meeting.
Right.
Well, it's okay. That's fine. I was afraid he was gonna close it.
All right, our last meeting was January 8th. The treasurer reported $11,484.51 in checking. $131,333.18 in the money market. In the 3 CDs that we have at Capital Credit Union, there's a total of $214,215.95. For a grand total of cash. Liquid assets of $357,033.64. There is $187,441.78 on the fire truck loan. There is $107,113.15 on the air pack loan. For a grand total there of $294,554.93. In the chief's report, he reported 6 fire calls and 6 EMR calls. Calls of note, December 14th, County S and Hornspear Road, single vehicle versus tree. They were canceled just as they got there. December 15th at 6555 Toggy Road for a structure fire. Mutual aid was with Nassawapi. Mutual aid to Nassawapi, it was actually Nassawapi call. We provided an an engine, a tender, and a chief. And this is the first time they deployed the fire suppression device. It's a, it's about the size of a purse. They threw it in a broken window and it basically puts out a flashbang sort of chemical and reduces the fire right then and there to basically nothing. It cuts down because a fire increases in size like every 2 minutes, doubles in size every 2 minutes. So this knocked it down and it actually helped suppress some of the fire. December 16th, North Cedar Drive, mutual aid to Algoma provided an engine, there we go again, an engine, a tender, I'm trying to merge them 2 together, engine and tender. Engine, a tender squad and the chief. December 19th, South Lake Michigan Drive for a structure fire. Mutual aid was received from Bog, Algoma, Nassawapi, Sturgeon Bay, and Casco. Casco stood by at the fire station for, in place of our guys. A 50 by 60 workshop was fully engulfed upon arrival. That was the use of about a 4 to 5 hour fire. The shop was well, a lot of stuff in the shop, put it that way. January 1st, County S at Solona Road, single vehicle accident. We provided traffic control and assisted tow truck. January 4th, Forestville Dam Mill Pond. The call was a possible shanty through the ice. Caller stated the shanty may have gone through. The person's fishing had left the area. And again, 6 EMR calls. Training back in January, or is in January, is on ice rescue. Training drills have taken place for the new E-Mavis system. That it's well received by dispatch, the county dispatch. Anna Olson and Paul Frederick are recommended for hire as firefighters in EMR. We did hire Anna Olson, and Paul Frederick had been a firefighter. He's actually in the Nassawapi district, but he's gonna rejoin. He had been a Southern Door fireman, but he's gonna rejoin the Southern Door. The fire suppression thing that I talked about, it had been donated by the Masonic Lodge. It has been replaced by the Masonic Lodge. That is $1,000 piece of equipment. So we thank the Masonic Lodge for that. Dalmatian Fire has been sent the description of and pictures of the old air packs. We're trying to sell them there first. We're waiting on a quote for what they're willing to offer for them. Plan B is to put them on Wisconsin surplus.
Right.
The difference is, we're hoping for a decent quote from Dalmatian Fire. We're on Wisconsin surplus, it's kind of, it's an auction, you get what,
You get what they give you.
right.
Right.
The new brush truck is at Emergency Vehicle Services, and the brush unit is, being installed and outfitted. They had a meeting January 9th to go over the final details, LoSAP payment, which Teresa and Dina has taken care of. I took a check back. The LoSAP payment and paperwork has been sent. Individual fire department pictures are being taken January 6th and 13th, with the fire board group picture taken February 12th. The last pictures are, I shouldn't quote, but it's been quite a few years since individual pictures have been taken. And the pictures on the wall are with Nassau firemen on the Nassau because it's like. Door County Fire Chiefs meeting is on January 22nd, and the appreciation banquet is March 8th. That's for the firefighters at Off the Hook in Oklahoma. And all other matters authorized by law. We are having a special meeting, actually 2 special meetings before our next monthly meeting. One is to change the bylaws where we do not have to post the meeting to the newspaper. We do have a website, fire department website. So we can post it there and post it at the station, so we'll be covered with those 2. It's just, kind of a hassle having to send it off to the newspaper and be in charge and pay for it, right? So we're gonna change that bylaw first in that first special meeting. And the second meeting is where we're gonna change the time for the summer meetings to start at 7 p.m. to help chief and representative from Claybanks to give them a little more farming time. So the meetings will be May through October will be at 7 p.m. and the rest will be 6 p.m. We tabled the looking into new investments. We with the uncertainty right now and the interest rates from the feds, we just tabled that. There was no interest in merging the accounts into one financial institution. So we're gonna stay with Nicolay and Capital Credit Union. And items for future discussion, we do an annual look at firefighter and EMR wages. It's just an annual look into wages, so that'll be probably done at next meeting. So that's what I got.
Also had received an email from Aaron Leclerc as far as the public safety partners for the towers. You and I were at that meeting, Larry, when they were talking about the public towers for the county and stuff.
Right, yep.
So there, please provide a total inventory for your department. And there was a date of Friday, January 17th. And I called the chief and he was right on it and had it all taken care of already.
Okay,
So just if anybody had gotten that email other than me, that's all done and put to bed. So they still don't know where they're going, just like you had said, right? You're work in progress, same thing with the bead stuff, whatever. But they requested it and we did it. So I just wanted to make everybody aware of that.
I got a question on the Stony Creek Road.
Yes,
Does
sir.
the county take care of fire numbers and everything for
County.
emergency services?
Yes.
County will all
So-
take care of that on their end?
Right, so right now they already, that's automatic, like even when we go to build a house or anything, you gotta go through Zach in order to get that, and then you pay the
I assumed.
$150 or whatever it is.
I think they already have.
They do,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, that's
They do.
already there.
So they'll take care of adding a road name to the fire number. or something,
Correct.
or-
you know, and them doing that over there was nothing but a benefit to the township, don't get me wrong, in that whole thing. It looks a million times better.
Mhm.
He got rid of all the other
The
chaff there. You
foundations
got
and
one
everything
nice
else.
house. You got a foundation sitting there. And what he wants to do is, he's a developer and they're gonna put stuff in there. But my whole point to that is, they're gonna put more than 4 in to cover their costs of everything,
Yeah,
right? They're there
there's-
to make money and there's nothing wrong with that.
And there are lots available.
Correct,
So I'm
so
not sure we're even
then-
talking, so.
if you go on O here and you hit H, right? Well, you're on H and then you hit O.
You know,
And
around
you take a
lives,
left.
HO,
right
H,
next door,
H and O.
right there.
yep, right across.
Okay. All
It's
right.
a strip.
It's right next.
And it was
yeah.
pre-latted off a long time ago. So all that part is fine. I'm just saying that they need to make the road, because right now it's just a driveway going in there. You know, you're a developer,
Sure.
you've got the equipment and the money, that's your hole sitting there, just make it right. That's all I'm asking. That's not that difficult.
Mm-mm.
So that's what's there. So yes, all fire numbers are still up to date and still there. And multiple power, just like you would a subdivision type thing. All right, item number 9, we're done with. Item number 10, Maplewood Sanitary District. Did you receive anything, Teresa?
Just the bill, that's it.
The bill.
Bill.
And I didn't hear
did-
anything.
I received a concern from someone who has property in Maplewood about his bill.
Mhm.
So Tyler Baldwin has 6 acres that he farms in that area, and he is being charged $211 a month for that property for that service. And he's contacted, and he doesn't pertain in the service, he doesn't take the service because he farms the parcel that he owns, but he still pays.
Is
Yeah.
it zoned
We do
agriculture?
the same thing. We have the same,
Oh, and you pay that $211?
we pay $481.
Yeah, so he went to Chris Sampo, he went to Sean
Just pay
Weatherwax.
that,
He was
even though there's
wondering,
Nothing
Yes.
there.
yeah,
Yes,
No
and
service.
he's like, he didn't mind paying the $20, but now that it's $211
Yeah.
each month, he's like, that's $2,400 for a service I don't even use. So he was looking for some type of guidance from,
Well, you have two
Somewhere.
residential lots.
You have like 11.
11, well, yeah, but
and
I'm
you farm
saying,
that property?
yeah,
And you pay that service too?
The only one that's not farmed is right next to your shed, your shop, your office there,
Yeah,
that little.
oh, you mean where you keep all your spare
No-
junk? bolts and
Norman's
stuff?
place,
yeah.
Norman's place,
Norman's.
or, yeah. Norman's-
So I told him I would bring it up at this meeting to see.
So
why-
I'm just trying to get my head around this. So basically you have vacant land, which is agriculture. They have to pay the sewer system.
Because you're.
Because
Because
not
it's
there.
lotted. It was lotted
It's
at the time.
platted.
It was lotted at the time the sewer system was put in. So Rince made all these lots he thought he was gonna sell, I think,
Right.
down the road. And Zettel did the same thing.
Yeah, cause
And that's what they're getting charged.
cause
on.
Tyler's bill comes
Platted
through as
land.
8 lots.
Yeah.
But he farms that property.
Doesn't matter, it's
Yeah.
lots and he can turn around and sell it, that's the thing.
So
Yeah.
so I talked to Chris too about it, and Chris
Okay.
said that what you could do is you could go to the county, ask for it to be rezoned into agricultural.
His is already, I checked the.
The land is
property
rezoned.
statement.
The
Yeah,
land is rezoned, but he would have to take the
Take the
lots,
plats
yes, the
Do
plat,
it
so,
the deed and everything.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
up and, yeah, you have to
Yes.
replant that land.
yes.
Is that what you guys did or?
We're
Oh,
paying the
yeah.
money yet.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
It might be worth it, you know? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
so he has to. reapply.
I mean, I've got an acre plus in a sanitary
Yeah,
district
it was
Never
76.
been
when-
platted.
now it jumped
And
So replat
I
the land
have
is what you said,
abandoned.
Yeah, I
land
think they have to
that
replat
town
the land.
owns.
so basically.
He would have,
We
to. I don't
need
even know who
platted.
you talk to, but they got to
And
talk to
they've
the
tried
county
over the
and
years to make me
Yeah.
pay. And
and find out how.
they don't, they never.
It would have to go, it would probably have to go through a
The
special
stuff is for the
meeting,
guys
Yeah.
that gotta deal with it now.
I'm
But if
thinking.
it was platted, that's a different animal.
Yeah,
So I'll review this recording and then
Okay.
let him know.
Yeah.
We
Contact them.
discussed it and go from there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm thinking he has to get a hold of the county.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
all right, item number 11, the park improvements. So here is the quick claim deed that now is registered and done. So I give that to our clerk, please, for your records.
feel like that one of these, I think.
Okay?
Yep.
They may have sent you the actual original, I don't know, and I had her email me one, but
Okay,
I just wanna make sure you have a copy
thank you.
for the town records. And again, thank, the Schmitz for donating that to us. The first donation has been received of $500 from Nicolay Bank. Which you had recorded in our finances, and that's where that had come from. So you guys at least know that's just the start of that. So we made the sub account, so any dollars that come in for the park, stay to the park money. Until they need it, then
It's
you know,
available.
it's available, right? And I'm sure it's gonna be pieced, like, okay, we'll maybe do the trail first, or, you know what I mean, based off how the funds and how things all play out, then that's what we're gonna do. Whatever we can get done, we're gonna keep moving forward with it. So grants have been written, grants have been sent in, but it's a whole process. So that's what we got on that one. Item number 12 is cemetery report. Is there anything there, Larry?
Yeah, I'm just gonna provide you each with some information. This is a result of what we approved when we set up an email account for with the name cemetery on it. So the top sheet is basically information as to who's the members of the committee. Their email address is the only thing that changed on this document. What information about how we go about opening graves and funeral contacts, and then plat on the backside is how a lot is laid out. This information is then provided to the members of the committee and the board here so that you know who to contact and how this cemetery is laid out. This goes way back. It's a very odd numbering system. If you can see the graves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Doesn't make any rhyme or reason. It's very difficult to get it squared when you're going out there and changing it, but this is the way it was put together in 1871 or something. The second page is a cemetery information document that is then provided to people who make inquiry. This is also appears on our website as well. Who do you contact? Here's what some of our rules are with regard to monuments and base, slab base and gravesite decoration. So these documents are now what are being made current as a result of our changing the email address, adding the email address of the cemetery at Forestville.com. So
After you made all those changes and you made them all visible, right? So there's a lot of sites that are still available there.
oh, absolutely. Oh,
But
yeah,
then
no.
you have piles of land for future growth.
Oh, yes.
The only thing, because this first piece was done, like you said, way back, is kind of kittywampus. I'm assuming that's the only thing that's kind of plotted. Once that is full, we'll just make a normal one from that point on. Right, or
The entire cemetery has been platted,
the entire one,
the whole thing.
but nothing is done in
This
that
is
other
Ward
land.
D. This is all in Ward D. And there's other wards that are out there in the field.
So are they all
all been
goofy
laid
like
out.
this one?
Beautiful, absolutely perfect. None of us will live long enough to put
Well,
it.
no, but I mean, if this one is, if this first section is.
We aren't selling anything out there in the farm field right now.
Right, right.
We're leasing it out. We're renting it for farmland.
Which would make,
Should we decide to open up another ward, A, B, C,
Yeah.
whatever, they'll revisit
they'll fix it and make
this,
it right.
whomever's in charge of that at the
Yes.
time.
Okay.
And that may be a long time.
Good thing they're not in the sanitary district.
Very good, Jason. Thank you. Anyway, that was the result of that. And it just kind of flows into the next thing. Well,
Which is,
it actually doesn't, but okay.
which is the broadband. Is that where you wanna go?
Yeah, let's go there.
All right, item number 13, broadband. And approval of letter for the BEAD funding.
This is what I had I sent this out to Teresa. This, the only thing I did here that's a little different is the way I addressed the date and the address. Very, at the very top, Secretary Studley, and I just made this change, identifying it as going to the secretary. I have been in contact with Kelly Shipley from Brightspeed, and I've also been in contact with Jessica Hatch. Our agreement with Brightspeed, it still stands, as I explained in my email. And so therefore, this is the formal letter, and he has to have this before the end of the month. That is why I sent you the draft.
Yep.
So,
And I read the draft and I thought it was perfect, just the way.
from what we looked at last month, this is significantly different, as you will have noted.
Yep.
Added and changed and modified based on input from the county as well as from Shipley himself. So I would ask that we sign this tonight. I would then see to it, I will forward this to Kelly, and then that will go into the packet. Yes, it is. Yeah, and this is this.
Well written though.
Very good, yeah.
Well,
Very good.
this is why I said when we first started down this path,
Yeah.
until I had clarity on all of the detail, where do you go?
Yeah.
You know, so this is, we're down to the wire. Here we are.
Right.
Now,
So.
this funding is open right now,
It's in the paper.
and they will close this at the end of March or April. There will be no announcement made as to who bid on what. It's a 3-stage bidding process. Therefore, then there'll be a second round of open bidding. Nobody will know who's bidding on what until they make the third final round, which will be in June or July, end of June or July. And then the announcement will be made as to who won their bids on those project units. That will not be until probably September, October timeframe. They're on a clock right now.
Right.
It has to be done, and those arrangements have to be announced, one, and then you'll have a short window of 2 or 3 months to contract.
Yeah.
And therein is what drives, as far as I am concerned, what we will then, as a town, do. And prior to that, we'll have to address the issue of the right-of-way permit, and I'll bring that up later on the roads. But this is the letter that I feel needs to be signed, and these are the commitments that we gotta indicate. So the monies that we have in escrow from the counties goes to this. That's what it was given to us for. This is what we're offering this. Even though it's probably not adequate for what ultimately will be done. We're gonna have to revisit that.
We're gonna do that with the letter.
Well, that's what we're saying in here, with the letter. Yeah, that we're putting in our monies from the county. So we're not sending it with the letter
That's what I was.
until we get into contracting, which will be in the fall.
Okay.
So, I'll continue to serve in that role of, in the broadband coordinating or whatever you want to call it.
Basically, the letter just shows our commitment at this point. We
That
don't
is correct.
throw him down.
It's a letter of support
Yes.
for the Public Service Commission in behalf of Brightspeed's bid.
Yep.
That's all this is.
So. There's 3 rounds to the funding,
Right.
but you're saying. they're gonna apply for round one,
right?
but they're never gonna be told if they got it or not.
Their lawyers will know.
Okay, cause it would seem redundant. Well, then I gotta keep replying. I'm
They,
gonna,
they have their, they
Three
have their,
times.
no, they have their. If the Public Service Commission comes back and says, well, you've applied for whatever project units. You either got them or you didn't get them. You're not, their lawyers will know. Then in round two. They'll apply only for those
that we didn't get.
didn't get, that they want. And they are the ones who pick what they wanted.
Okay.
So, I mean, that goes back to what we talked
You know,
about.
that makes more sense.
Yeah, that's
Or
where
else
I'm
I'm,
gonna do it.
I'm bidding
No,
3 times
No,
for the same
no, no,
thing. It
no,
seems
no.
pretty
you're
stupid to
bidding
me.
once. Their lawyers will know they cannot make it public to avoid pollution. And so therefore,
Breach of contract.
you won't know anything until probably
won't.
September.
We
We won't, no,
Right.
we won't.
Okay, so do you need a motion for this, Larry?
No, I just need signature. Well, we could make a motion that we approve this letter.
Maybe we should do that. That way there's no
Yeah.
problem. any
Right.
Potential problem.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that. I make a motion to approve the letter presented in regards to support of B grant.
And I will second that.
Okay.
So I have a motion from Jason to accept the letter as presented and a second by Kevin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. So we will sign this and then give it to Larry.
Right, and I'll then forward that on to Kelly.
Need a
Sure,
copy for our records. too?
sure, we can do that.
Okay, so we'll sign two then.
Yeah, that's all good.
Okay.
Okay,
You want me to sign it already?
Sure.
I'll just keep this one and you can give that one. to Lisa.
This B grant, we can build, maybe drill.
Yeah, leave it in case. Just unreal. I mean, thank you, Jason. Okay. So that's the B grant.
all right.
So,
So item number 13, we're good with. Item number 14, Hague Oven website.
hey, Donovan website, isn't this just a treat? I mean, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong. We now understand how to look at our deposits and how to get to the detail.
Yeah.
And it's working.
Yeah.
Excellent.
This sucks that you had one to 2 different places, but yeah, it's good.
Oh. Did you see you had one here this evening?
No, I did not.
Yeah, there's another one.
Dog license?
Yeah, of course.
God, what dog? Okay,
Did you get the tags?
yes, I finally got them.
Okay, you got more applications for dog tags than I've ever seen through the Gov thing.
Mm-hmm.
So how many tags did they give you?
50?
Oh, so you got plenty.
Yeah, I never run out of tags, but
Now, are you getting tags without going through the online system?
Mhm. Oh, yeah,
you're
I
getting those.
probably got 20 in the mail.
Okay, you got about another 10 or so,
Yeah.
this
or
past
15.
month,
Yeah,
whatever, send one.
yeah, so when we had remember I had to send them a note and
Yes,
tell them that
yes,
we didn't have tags, we'd give it to them whenever, so we got the money. Now, this weekend I went through and went back on there and put the tag number in
numbers in,
and
approved it,
approved the license,
Yeah,
yes. So
okay,
everything should be approved in there now.
excellent. We spent quite a bit of time online with Atanas. Now, did you also get that other letter email from Atanas?
Yeah, what was that about?
I don't know.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Well, it had to do with clerk minutes.
Yeah.
And he let us know that
Not paying right.
I want to let you know, we charged you $39.60 for clerk minutes instead of the usual $99. This is a mistake because we had credited your account for HayGov services because of Larry.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I went back and I said, so you charged us $39.60 instead of the usual $99? It's a mistake because we had credited your account for Hey Gov Services because of Larry? What did I do? And I signed it curious.
Yeah.
And I got an answer. All good things, Larry, not to worry. Enjoy the weekend, you awesome people. I'll get back to you with more information.
Yeah, I heard.
I don't know what I did,
Which is awesome.
You're awesome.
but I'm awesome according to
You're awesome
Adonis.
people.
I have
You
no
maybe,
idea.
you maybe help them find some other errors that they had in their system.
Most likely,
Yeah.
most
That's what
likely.
I'm thinking.
Just take the win.
Yeah.
Well, what did I do? How do I get-
Compliments don't come off in this line of work.
It makes me nervous, okay?
More to come.
There'll be more coming.
Enough slurs, smears.
I have no idea. It's very odd. There will be, as I got a message today, on Wednesday, a clerk minutes training session. Now, Teresa, you've been doing a great job on doing this stuff. And we ran in, they got some changes to make to clerk minutes.
Okay.
I don't know if it's during the day.
Oh, no.
I'll forward it to you, but what I'll try to do is go to that online forum
Yeah.
where Adonis will be.
What time is it on Wednesday?
They didn't
You'll let me
say.
know.
I'll let
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, I'll look at
Yeah,
it.
but I'm going to find out what they're, the website, I was in a session talking about using the tool to create the agenda as well as then to create minutes. And there's a lot of problems with the way they put some of this together. And so I spent a lot of time trying to guide them. Here's what you have to do in order to make things work. And so now they're gonna have this webinar on Wednesday, and I'm gonna go to it and find out more.
Would it be possible to record that webinar and then we could watch that later date?
Probably, I will ask for that.
Yeah, that'd be something I could work on.
You can just
Yeah.
send me the link and I can.
Okay.
watch it.
Yeah, I'll get the webinar information,
Okay.
let you know. And I'll ask about a recording. I like to be online with them with the recording, because then I ask a lot of questions. And that's where, maybe that, I said something, I don't know why, but they didn't charge us, so I didn't care. Whatever. It continues on. I have taken, as far as the email is concerned, not only did I create the cemetery, I also created one called support. And I'm in the process of moving all of my 9 gig of files from the supervisor's email address over to the support address, because all of the things that I've been doing are in as the supervisor, and it really, going forward, as you asked, that's not gonna, whoever who gets that email address doesn't need all of that stuff, but if I'm gonna continue on support and do these things, I'm gonna have to have access to it. So I'm in the process of moving literally thousands of files and restructuring how they make communications with us for both AGov as well as the town web design. So gonna
Okay.
continue. That's a big process.
So all my stuff on my town computer was
Under,
on a shared drive or shared,
it's on
Something.
it's on your town directory. It's in your.
oh no, now it's telling me I can't get into anything because I don't have the D drive.
D drive?
Yeah. Telling me it's gone, disappeared, whatever. I don't know. I can't get back to
if
anything
you
that
go
I have.
in, you go in as treasurer
Mhm,
and you log in and you go to your Google Drive
mhm,
and it's not there.
mhm.
I'll work with you on that.
I was gonna bring it tonight. I forgot.
If you brought your laptop, I
I'm-
helped you.
There's just too many things on my mind today for, I didn't think of that.
Well, yeah, we spent quite a bit of time. What do we spend the other
Yeah,
couple of
so I
times?
found some old, that I could get my dog license started in out, and I found some old areas on my on my computer myself. I'll just move them into that computer then. when
On
I'm
the
done.
town computer. Yeah, that should work. You should just log in. Well, anyway,
I don't know what happened.
I'll work with you on it.
Okay.
That's all I've got at this point with regard to that. And, yeah. I did update the website on some of the permits that I've done for the last one.
And I'll look at that one for the driveway thing and I'll tell you what I'm running into there.
Okay.
And then we can make a
Yeah.
couple of quick changes there.
It's all.
Okay, correspondence.
Yeah.
I have one correspondence sent from Terry McNulty. And this comes from Kim Washam, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that last name. Anyway. Hello, county, city, town, and township officials. I am making you basically aware that they published a brand new 2025 edition of the Door County Plat Book. For a limited time, we are offering you a premium wall map of your township, typically 36 by 36 at a low price of $199 plus shipping. Additional maps can be purchased for $75. Maps can also be laminated for an additional $50 each. Are we interested in that?
I don't know if we've ever had, sadly, well,
No.
It'll almost look like,
The one way over on the left.
yeah, that's what it's gonna look like,
It
right?
look like the one on the left. The others that you see up on the wall
Or
there,
like your E911.
Are- yeah. that came from the zoning department and we work with those. And these come off of the state archives. The old plats from 1800s and 1937 plats.
I mean, I'm not opposed to having that, at least it's updated, obviously it's here. But I don't know,
When we work with platting, I use their website.
Cause it's the most current.
It's got current data.
Basically, that's just a display on that.
Right,
thing, so
right, and I don't need to spend a couple $100 for something like
$200 for
that.
art, but
No,
it's, I'm a no.
okay. Larry, I'm assuming you're in the same boat? No,
I'm a no.
okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure that that's what I was gonna write down, but I wanna make sure. I know it.
Yeah, no, I don't see, that's where I go for my information. I want current stuff. I don't want to have a snapshot in time. That's a snapshot in time. Those are snapshots in time. If we need a wall hanging, we'll go get one from the zoning department.
Yeah, so it was forwarded to Terry and then Terry had sent it over to us. So, okay. Will do. That's what I had on the correspondence. Did you, Teresa, have anything?
I have something for next meeting, but that'd probably be on the agenda.
Yeah.
So. No,
Okay.
Oh.
All right, item number 16, road work. Road work right of way, we kept that on there. We're gonna table that again as we proceed down.
Well, I'm gonna, as I mentioned prior to the meeting, we have some information been provided by the Towns Association in our current book. And what they have here is two documents that they provided to us. I would encourage that we look at this page 13 of the document of the Towns Association January document. Look at that guy, and there's he mentions in here that there's sample utility accommodation policy on their website. And what I did here, just to give you a sample of what it is this is there's 39 pages on the utility accommodation policy. And then there's a 16-page document of appendices. And in here, all I did was snap a picture of the index. This is what's all in that 39-page document. And rather than print out 39 pages of it, I thought you should just see, well, what's the table of contents look like? There's one for you, Jason. And then here's the appendices. That's their sample application. And in this appendix, they have a completion certificate. And this is a 16-page document. Now, I believe that as we go forward, we had adopted an ordinance in 2017. Well, that had to do with operation of above ground manure lines and then special utilities in the right of way. There was an article back in April of 2018, and that was all the guidance there was. When I had gone to the Towns Association Convention, Teresa, you were in the election training, and I went and we got a lot of information on road, and I was told that there would be more information forthcoming. So that's why when you were asking about that originally, I said, well, as soon as I get something, I'll bring it forward. This is what's available now on the Town Association Law Library or website. You log in with your username, you can go get those documents. And what I would recommend is that we talk with a legal counsel as far as how much and to what detail do we go as a town adopting that suggested
Well, first you want to print it off and read this thing.
well, yeah, there's a lot more on the website.
Yeah. I can see.
You want to look through that. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how we would go through all of the details, but they address practically everything with regard to utilities going into our right of way. This will have to be something that we have in place prior to contracting for broadband fiber.
Yeah, you're talking vegetation, signs.
Oh, it's absolutely everything. It's everything. Restoration of the whole thing. And specifications, there's drawings, there's all kinds of stuff in there. You know, how do you structure it? How do you do this? How do you do that? It's extensive, it's involved. And it's nothing you want to take lightly. What we have is very minimal on our current right-of-way ordinance. And while we were
And that was
addressing
done in,
2017,
I know that well, our ordinances are online, are they not?
and they are. And it was ordinance number. Tell you what ordinance it was? It was 2017-01. And that was a 3-page or two-page document. And 2017-04 was underground right-of-way access, and that was a page and a half. So we adopted that one in March of 2017, and we adopted the other, they both were adopted the 28th of March 2017. So they didn't take into consideration anything but installation and operation of manure lines primarily.
And this is basically for the broadband more than anything.
Well, it's basically, it's been promulgated because of broadband fiber burial. they want to abandon their existing environment. And that's fine. If the ordinance we have says you're going to abandon it, you gotta notify somebody. We gotta know, what are you leaving in place and what are you removing? And what are you putting in? And how are you gonna restore the right of way? I mean, if you take a look at what happens when some of this stuff is done, you see a mess on the right of way. They leave, well, you should know you're in that business. When they bring in services to a building site. I mean, it's gotta be a mess. Anyhow,
Look at Enbridge,
pardon?
look at Enbridge.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, drill, baby, drill. Get it done, get her done,
you know, get it done.
and that's the problem. So,
And they never clean that stuff up.
no, and this is why we have to have this looked at. From my perspective is
I'm gonna
this,
dig into this, cause this has got some good meat and potatoes for me. I like.
there's a
I like-
lot of stuff
I
in here.
like reading about this stuff. This is great.
Well, go online.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
as
saw that.
long as you're a member of the Towns Association, you have access to the library.
Yep.
And it's under roads.
Yep.
So, or utilities, whatever,
Okay.
so. That's the right of way stuff that I had.
Update on Old Krieger Road. Fund request.
So we got a request by ACH December 27th, so we deposited it, we wrote the check. So now I guess, we received another bill from the county for 27,000. I don't know if we're gonna get any more for Old Krieger Road or not, if they're done, because that was through November. I don't know
So
when-
we've paid that $300,000 bill, we paid
Yeah,
I assume.
Well, actually, 350 some thousand we
yeah,
paid.
yeah.
Well, but you've had engineering fees and you
That's
had
all in there, yep.
multiple
Yeah.
bills.
Yeah. We just received another one for the November.
Okay.
Invoice from the county, another bill from the county. That's
That's-
not included, is not in the 358,000.
Well, before we go to get the monies back from our grant, they're gonna give us 90%.
Yep.
Right? Before we do that, we have to make sure we have everything in there and there's a whole procedure on that, on making sure you got all of the detail
Right.
and
We-
documentation, check numbers, dates, copies of everything.
I just wanna make sure we have all the bills, so we're gonna wait
So
one
I'm
more
gonna
month
call
till we
that.
get December's bill. You know, because I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, make sure, because once you go to the state and say, okay, here's what we paid, you go back, no more.
No, I wanna wait one more month, because we wanna see what's in December. if
See if,
We're-
and
Get the final bill for that.
Yeah.
road, And then.
Thad's guys wouldn't have to answer it because they're notoriously slow on getting stuff built.
Right. Okay, so that's,
Okay.
Yeah, as far as if they're done with it, right? But the billing. That's the question.
All right. Status as far as Idlewild Road, still waiting for the state to, tell us. Basically, we'll go to Nassau first, right? We're the secondary.
All right, we're just gonna join
Yep,
with them,
we're
but
just gonna
then
join.
that's on, in Nassau's
Yep.
wheelhouse. not
You
ours.
bet. But just to give you, an
Yeah,
update of
right.
where that's at. And then the memorandum of understanding, Tom had sent it back to me here, all signed.
Ah,
So I will give this to our clerk so that you have that for your records or the town records.
can I get a copy of that?
and then we'll post this on our. Right, we'll work together on.
Well,
this.
sure.
Yeah, we'll talk.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
hurt to post it. would it?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's there.
Then it's just out on the website, right? There's
Yeah.
nothing really to talk about. Here it is. I mean, it isn't gonna hurt anybody, right?
Nope.
And then,
Yeah.
the other one, we
Work on
didn't,
that, yeah.
you didn't
we'll
really
work on
change
it.
this one because this one.
No,
nothing has changed.
Right.
no,
So
that's true.
might as well just leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Take the current one.
And you know, do you have a copy of this one, Larry? Maybe you do them both at the same time, because that pretty well takes care of
That would
most
probably be
of
a
the
good
town of Anarchy
idea.
at that point, so
Yeah,
I'm assuming,
I have much more on that I want than what I want.
so.
How many times did we go to court on that one, Jason?
Yeah.
And you guys don't know when to not talk. Sorry.
All right. Anything else as far as road work from anybody?
Not me.
Okay, moving on. Item number 17. Payment of bills.
With the going invoice this month. They gave me the November invoice and they really should have given me the December invoice. So there's not a check for them this month because I requested it. I got the invoice, the email from Tori today, and I opened it up. I'm like, this is the November invoice, so she gave me the incorrect information. So that's how come we don't have invoice for them. As soon as I contact her tomorrow and she gives me that December invoice, then I'm just gonna create a check and then we'll pay it at that time, so. Because we paid this already
How
last
much
month.
was this one?
It's usually about that amount.
That's why I'm asking
Yeah.
this question.
It's about the same amount.
So you have to include it when you.
Right,
say
this is what,
anything.
when we make
Yeah.
our motion, we need to include it.
And I could have made it a check
Approximately.
for exact same amount, but I didn't get the invoice, so that's okay, I didn't wanna pay
Yeah,
it.
so this month,
I can't, yeah,
this last month's bill was 8,363. So
right,
you're gonna be anywhere between
right,
maybe 8,500, 9,000, somewhere in that. ballpark.
right, so.
So when did your money
So
come
then a
in?
motion, if a guy
What
was to
is-
make a motion, would be for what times the dollar.
Oh, is that-
Whatever the bill
When
comes
did
in
the
at,
money
we don't
come
really
in
know
from
what
the-
dollar
So we can't
amount.
really make it.
Bureau of Public Lands?
Well, you just
Commissioner?
add this in that, just like the credit card bill, right?
Is that on?
Oh, this,
Is that on
this
here?
dollar amount.
Might have been
once it gets
that
in,
amount.
I'll do the next
Hold
one.
on,
Yeah.
it went into the checking, so.
Well, that dollar amount was paid last month.
Yeah, and she sent it to me in January and I opened it up and I was doing bills on Friday. I'm like, oh, this is December bill, so I sent her an email.
The
And I got it today and she sent me the exact same November bill, so I was like,
A deposit of loan proceeds? Is that 358,842?
it's in there.
It's,
Yeah, so you have the 303.
but that's out.
Paid, yeah,
And our loan proceeds we deposit on 27th, you say?
Yeah, yeah. It's included in that big amount on the transfer. You see it, it's,
12/27. I see a deposit from the state of Wisconsin, but I don't know that it says loan proceeds for Old Krieger Road.
yeah, that's that
And-
amount, and then if we look at.
And then there's a $25 expense.
that was, yeah, that was because we had to pay $25 to wire it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay,
that's our fee.
okay, so that was to get the money.
That was
Yeah,
to get the money, yeah.
yes, yeah,
So that's what we borrowed.
The 350 is something,
yeah,
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
all right,
we get that amount into our account.
okay, that's all I was asking.
Yeah.
And then you-
Yeah.
Where is our fire extinguisher here? Is it right out on the wall?
it's over by the door,
I never paid attention.
wherever the salt bucket is.
Right, so,
That's like a yearly fee, I guess.
well, they have to inspect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do too. I just didn't know where it was, that's what I was asking.
Yeah, I can say the door.
There's one check in there for $5, he paid, I think he did the same thing last year. He paid $5, he's got his dog is spayed or neutered, whatever it was, and he paid me 15, which it should only been 10.
I saw it.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Okay.
But you want, give me it, or do you want to send it in? I'm just gonna send it back with his public license.
I was gonna mail it to another.
No, I kept it because I didn't.
Where you go? Did you know this? I gotta tear off all your clothes, but, you know.
You mean they're charging us traffic? Yeah.
Oh, that,
Yeah,
we,
for the
we got
cover.
we got our invoice. Remember our property tax statement we got for $77.77? The people who rent the tower from us, who are they? Broadband. They usually paid for this,
Right,
and because we don't have personal property tax anymore, I got charged to the town. So now I think if we.
So when I
invoice
send,
them-
when I send the bill in June,
Yeah,
they're gonna have to pay that.
yeah, you'll
with it.
just invoice.
Okay.
Yeah, for that.
okay,
Tap it onto the bill.
Yes, correct, yeah.
all right.
Plus 20% for your time.
Administrative fee.
Administrative.
Yeah.
You're gonna do like north of the bridge.
Oh, they're gonna tell me. Oh, Gina, give me that check there.
Oh, you didn't sign that.
Yeah.
If a little bit sitting there, maybe we could rent it up as a Airbnb, wherever the town is.
Make sure you advertise it.
I always wanted that.
And it's
tower.
letting out.
I always wanted a tower for like a radio tower, it's like a little radio station on it, that'd be great.
I make a motion, we pay the bills, but we also include the costs for going garbage. And is there a credit card?
The credit card is in there already.
Okay.
Yep.
And did that, the clerk minutes bill in it?
The what?
The clerk minutes bill that I had screwed up, did something?
No, there
No.
wasn't anything in there for that. I
Okay.
don't know when, we must have paid it a while. I don't know when
No,
we paid.
no,
that.
that'd be current, so it may show up in next month's. bill.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I second that motion.
okay.
All right, I have a motion from Larry to accept the bills as presented,
Yep.
and when the going garbage bill comes in, that can be
Included.
included.
Yes.
And a second by Jason, all in favor? Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Item number 18, announcements. Do we have any?
I
I
have
do, I have one.
questions.
Seven, our superintendent and the business manager are gonna be attending our February meeting. They're asked to come. So I suppose it had something to do with transparency of the referendum that they chose not to do one this April, so
Okay,
Probably want to introduce themselves. to the board.
introduce themselves for the,
That's nice.
so. Are you putting these, or are you keeping the small ones, right? It doesn't matter, whatever.
so are they looking for time to talk, or are they?
They just wanna come and talk, so I put them on the agenda.
For next month.
Yeah.
Okay.
They would like to introduce themselves, give a short presentation about the district and answer any questions that come their way. Would this be possible for February 17th? I told her, yeah, it would be okay. I
So
really-
I'm gonna ask, how come we gotta sign that great big fat check twice a year over there?
So that's what I have. So,
If I could just get one of them to run the town, I don't even need them both.
I realize we don't have to make a decision tonight, but we should figure out who's going to be attending the spring
No.
district
No,
meeting in Manitowoc to get the Board of Review training. Who's gonna be on the board
but we need to do that,
in February.
February or March.
And you'll have.
It's
I'll have to do it
in,
for sure.
it's in March 22nd on a Saturday in Manitowoc Farm Discovery Center. So it's in the, again, it's in their book, but you have to have at least one Board of Review member
Right,
in attendance in order to have a Board of Review
right.
in May. So
What day is that?
March 22nd, Saturday, I believe.
Oh,
You want me to go with you?
I'll go to that one, yeah.
Or you go
Yeah,
with
it's-
you? But-
It's March 22nd,
Yeah, 'cause I will be
Saturday,
gone. I won't be going.
Farm Discovery Center.
Yeah,
Okay.
I won't be here.
But I can take.
What feature
Yeah.
are you doing on?
Don't care as long as
But
it's
a
warm.
relaxing time, right? Yeah.
Okay, so Jason and Teresa, you're gonna go?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll do it.
I just thought we should get that at
Separate
least
rooms?
on the surface.
No, it's an afternoon deal or an all day deal or something like that.
There is one way. a Friday, the last day of the month, I'm like, let's go to training on a Friday.
I like Fridays.
You know,
That's
I like
why I
Fridays
love
too.
road review. Road review is always nice, so those on a
I
Friday.
don't, I'm shocked by Friday.
Okay,
I,
any other announcements?
yeah, I have one more. This is, one permit that's on our website that, Jason and I have had heartburn with that for a long time. And what I'm suggesting is that we put, this under consideration for discussion at, next month's meeting. It's our fireworks permit that never was supported by any ordinance. It was, it goes way beyond reason, but it was insisted upon, that we have this permit. What I did here, I've given you a packet. The first is the actual document itself. The second piece that says fireworks on it is basically the first paragraph from an article from June of this year, put out in our town magazine by Jake, the lawyer. So I've copied that for you. Thirdly, I gave you a copy of the actual supporting ordinance that has been updated as of the 1st of January. This is the one I end up dealing with all the time because it has all of the rules and regulations from the Department of Department of Safety and Professional Services, DPSPS. They're the ones that control my activities. And then, and ATF, yeah, and they visit me on a real regular basis. And then I have a draft of a proposal that I would like to see. It's a much simplified document, but it may not be fully accurate. So what I would like to do is have that on our agenda for next month to discuss a proposed ordinance to replace that existing world. And then ultimately that would become part of, it's on our website now. That top document is on our website. And when I queried a former chairman as to were all of these items done? Well, no, I just line out a lot of that. Well, if you're not going to use it, then you shouldn't have it out there. If you look at this, if you look at the back of this thing, the terms and conditions,
Yeah, there's a lot of there.
and there's things in here that aren't even begun to be talked about from the perspective of the statute.
Why do we gotta do that part?
We decided that was necessary. We never had no ordinance. We had no discussion. This was,
what this is I gotta go around and get my
No.
neighbor's signatures.
no,
And I'm thinking, why do I need to get, this is the fireworks, if it's the 4th of July or a special celebration. I understand not shooting them, burning things down and being,
absolutely.
well, that might scare my dog, it might scare.
Or somebody with PTSD.
But the, Salvador Sheriff's Department did call me and ask us if we had any permits for fireworks. For
It's
4th
on
of
our
July.
website.
And I called you right away to verify with you what I needed to do, because I didn't, know
Right, and
what
this
to
is,
do,
this
so,
is, this
yeah.
triggered,
Yeah,
you and I have had this conversation in board meetings for years.
So I did not read this yet, which I absolutely will, and what the chapter,
16710.
is that anywhere in there?
No, oh, absolutely not.
Cause I don't think that should be
Well,
there.
this is why I want it on the agenda for next
Okay.
month.
Right.
yes.
I'll propose.
I don't care if you don't like America, move somewhere else, but here we are.
Drill, baby, drill.
I'm just saying, it just seems pretty goofy to me.
Well,
Anonymous
But yes,
vote.
we will put this on the agenda and that'll give us
Right.
I'll give you, yeah, I'll
the
try
board
to.
members time to look it over and then.
Right.
And then hopefully maybe even draft something up, or if you have, matter of fact, we have a sample already, right? But we could do an ordinance that would match to back
Right.
the new application.
And but read through, I
Without
highlighted a
doubt.
lot of the stuff in the, and truthfully, I always ask for a permit on an annual basis, even though I'm not required to because I'm licensed by the state and the federal government
Right,
for my fireworks displays.
Well, I'm
at
gonna
least
deny
if we
this
had
year.
this, he doesn't have to go that length, you know? And in the past.
Whatever.
In the past.
Lord should hear this, in my last inspection. My last visit from the state, they told me that the Department of Safety and Public Professional Services is now promulgating, and they just published it in the state register or whatever. Or no, that was the feds, I guess, did that. They are going to require, I annually advise the fire department of my facilities and what I do.
Hmm.
Well, I do that anyway. I mean,
Are you inspected on the fire department? As a business, like,
inspected?
Yeah, we get inspected it might even be
fire
twice a
inspection, do
year.
you have a fire inspection every year from the fire department?
I have, when you guys come out for the town show, I always take Chief Olson and all the firefighters
Yeah.
that show up to show them exactly
Right.
where the
No, there's-
storage facility
If
is.
you're not a business serving people.
No.
So whatever businesses we have in the township
I'm not, no, I don't. I
get inspected yearly.
uh,
Or even-
He gets inspected by the ATF.
Well,
That's-
the ATF and the
Work, yeah.
DSPS and all of that, but that's all part of my licensure.
Right.
And so what they're gonna want, the state, the feds required I advise when I started to store explosives, fireworks in the town. I wrote a letter to Edson Stevens. He was the president of the fire department. That's the only requirement they had. That was the only notification they had. And what they want now is what they're put in the federal register is they're going to be requiring an annual notification of the storage facility. Well, I said to my inspector, my ATF investigator, when he showed up, I said, well, they come out here, I always take the fire chief and the fire department, I have them tour, and I show them the magazine, I show them where it's at, I show them what the situation is, should there be a fire, you know, so that's in essence the notification that I provide to the fire department. But it's not a business that I'm selling stuff out of.
Right.
It's a display operation, a storage operation, explosive storage
It's
facility.
beneficial to both, to you and to us.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
you know,
And when we went through our original training for the incident management, initially Dan Williams and company, they didn't even know the storage facility was there in emergency government. So there was no understanding of it from you know, should there be an incident of some catastrophic event? Where is this stuff stored? You better know about it. So they now included that in their inventory of those types of facilities. So magazine, I mean, the county knows about it, emergency government knows about it.
several years ago, we got something from, I don't know if it was a town or from the fire department, you know, what you have stored where on your farm? You know, where are your fuel tanks?
Right, well, that's all was a
Yeah.
part of
Where-
that. Dan
where-
Williams was
Where are
heading
your-
that up.
Where are your chemicals?
Right,
Um,
right.
blah, 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 you know, where's your nearest water source they were asking?
Yeah, it's like an EHS requirement now.
Right, right.
You know,
So,
that was years ago.
yeah, and that, yeah, it was several years ago. But now the feds are gonna require that there be a formal notification made, hey, we're storing stuff here yet. So as long as I'm doing display operations and storing stuff in that facility, you guys know about it. I don't wanna not know about, don't want you not knowing
Maybe I'll
about it.
suggest to Chief Olson that, you know, you get included on the fire inspections, even though you don't serve the public, but you are. You know, you do have very
Explosives,
volatile
right,
stuff on site,
right,
you know,
but I'm permitted and I can,
Right.
I,
it's just for our benefit.
that's no
for the fire
problem,
department benefit,
no problem.
right, you know,
Yeah, so just so you know that that's gonna be coming down through the federal government, through the ATF, ultimately through the state DSPS. Even though I take active role in and let
right,
the firefighters and Chief Olson and everybody else know. So, I mean, he's been through,
is that during the day before, the day out?
oh, you guys bring a fire truck down there and
Yeah,
you,
right.
okay.
It's
and that's when
a
I,
couple hours before, or whatever.
right. And they've offered to, in dry conditions, they've offered to go out there and sprinkle the field for me. But, you know, I'm shooting usually in corner hay. In Bowden's
Right,
field.
yeah.
Well, they cut the field beforehand. So
They
it's
for
nice.
the hay, but not the corn, not the corn. We try to make popcorn out of it.
But it's good the fire department knows what your inventory is, so they can have the necessary, fire retardant on hand if they need to.
They just they know where to stay back from.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah,
You see this sign?
Yeah.
Stay here and watch. It's gonna be a hell of a show.
Right?
That's basically what it boils
Stay
down
back
to.
500 feet.
Don't go near this.
Throw your pack with a
Right.
little gun thing.
Oh, no, no, Jesus,
And then it'll just suppress it. So,
not
question,
really.
like, burning permits and stuff, do we need to tell anybody other than? Right, I mean, they have.
We issue the permit.
Yeah.
And whoever we issue that permit to is responsible to call Chief Olson or Vandertire, or whomever is on the list. Did we get an updated list this year?
Nothing has changed.
Nothing should have changed. Yeah, Chief Olson,
Yep.
Assistant Chief Anartai.
Right,
So it's
And
the same
happy.
letter, so what I did is I put it on the back of the permit,
right. That's what I did too.
so. And I think last year we talked so that all three of us were basically doing the exact same thing.
Yep,
And almost everybody else just giving an annual, or a yearly, it's
Yep.
for the
it's
year.
good
because
until December
I don't know what
31st.
day, it depends on the wind, it depends. Well, yeah, it depends. Well, you don't wanna be coming here constantly. I said.
No, before
Call the
you,
fire department, let them know you're gonna be burning
right,
and here you go. You should be good to go.
yeah, and that's what I've
Okay.
done all along.
And I didn't have any complaints from the chief when I talked to him and whatever.
Yeah.
And then if I see there's a big fire, which I know there was the other day. But I called him and left him know it looks big, but.
No, I called,
100%
I called as well.
contained and
Be that too.
was that
Yeah.
the,
Over there.
that was,
Fennel-
the
Fennel one?
yes, yeah. Well, you couldn't get safer than that. You're in the middle of two
Right,
fields, they're all
right.
plowed, they had their
yeah, I figured. that's
high
what they were
hole sitting
doing.
there and they were cleaning up a big long fence line. I said, so it looks bad if you get a call.
South of town. So.
I wouldn't, you don't really need to worry about it. I said, I'm driving by right now and I don't know that it could be any safer, so.
Yeah.
You do what you gotta do, but. All right, if that is it for announcements, discussions and items intended for future meeting, which was kind of tied into the fireworks thing, so we're gonna add
Yep.
that on there.
Teresa,
Item number 20,
which one?
Wait. Oh, I have a typo. It should be February's meeting.
February 17th.
Yeah, just so you know. We're not gonna have another meeting
Oh,
in January.
God.
Yeah.
You know, okay,
for the next meeting,
Yeah,
you're
it's
saying?
February 17th.
that's the 17th.
Yeah.
That's February.
Yes. Just so you know, we have an election on the 18th.
The next town board
So-
meeting is,
Maybe election on the 18th?
Yeah, a spring primary for superintendent of public instruction.
That's about the only thing on the ballot. huh?
That's about
State-
it.
State.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
so the next town board meeting is February 17th, 2025 at 6:30 PM, correct?
Right.
All right.
And we're gonna make sure we get,
President's Day.
Well, we'll get things posted. That's a bit of a challenge. We got them all posted. You cleaned it up. That's good.
It happens.
I know it happened.
Looking for an adjournment.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
All right, I have an motion from Larry to adjourn and a second from Jason. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Meeting is complete.